Hello and welcome. I'm Sima Katauka and you are watching NewsX World. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. Australia, Britain, Canada and Portugal have formally recognized a Palestinian state, with French President Emmanuel Macron hosting today's two-state solution summit. Macron has announced France's intention to recognize Palestine in July, confirming it to Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, sparking anger in Israel and the United States. Several world leaders are expected to formally recognize a Palestinian state at a summit in New York, including Denmark being among the countries taking this step, while Israel warns and considers possible West Bank annexation, and it moves on with its barrage into Gaza. Iran's atomic energy chief and Vice President Mohammad Eslami have arrived in Moscow for talks, according to the Iranian embassy in Russia. This visit comes after the UN Security Council refused to permanently lift sanctions, with 3 European countries seeking to reimpose them over alleged violations of the 2015 nuclear deal. Russia has asked the UN Civil Aviation Agency to ease sanctions on aircraft spare parts and overflights, calling Western restrictions unlawful coercive measures. The sanctions have cut off Russian airlines from direct access to parts for more than 700 Airbus and Boeing jets, forcing them to rely on complex indirect import routes. U.S. lawmakers held their first House of Representatives visit to Beijing in 6 years, meeting Chinese Defense Minister Dong Jun to discuss strengthening military-to-military communications. The bipartisan delegation led by Democratic Representative Adam Smith comes after Presidents Donald Trump and Xi Jinping agreed to further talks. Russia has offered to extend nuclear warhead limits under its treaty with the United States for 1 year after the agreement expires in February 2026. The move comes as renewed global concerns over nuclear arms control hover. Egyptian President el-Sisi has issued a pardon for prominent activist Alaa Abdel Fattah, a 43-year-old British Egyptian who has spent most of the past decade in Egyptian prison. Alongside 5 others, the move follows international pressure, including from the United Nations and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Super Typhoon Ragasa has hit northern Philippines with winds of 215 km per hour and gusts up to 295 km per hour, prompting President to order full alert across government agencies. The storm has triggered suspensions of classes, work, and cancelled 24 domestic flights, halted ferry services, and raised risks of floods, landslides, and storm surges over 3 meters.